PDHPEStem29 will be looking at nutrition and recovery strategies and their effect on performance. For the recovery strategies, we're going to be talking about physiological strategies, neural strategies, tissue damage strategies, and psychological strategies. First of all, we have some of the physiological strategies. First one being the actual cool down itself. So cooling down following activity is designed to apply an active recovery strategy, which we'll talk about in a second, to reduce the occurrence of delayed onset of muscle soreness, which is DOMS. The process of cooling down has many benefits for the individual. First one being a reduction in the level of lactic acid that accumulates in the bloodstream, a lowering of the core body temperature, and some psychological benefits such as feeling better when the body has returned. The athlete feels a bit better about themselves knowing that they're back to normal. Active recovery. This can improve following performance by 30% if the time between performances or training sessions is short. So the active recovery is, if you think about some of the sports you might have been to at the high level, teams coming back out onto the oval following performance to go through some walking, some lunges, some high knees, just some low intense activity just to get the blood flowing and get rid of the lactic acid and to get some fresh blood in there, which is going to help with the recovery process. Hydration is also very important following exercise, especially in hot, humid conditions. Concern for many athletes is that they'll only really replace about 30 to 70% of the total fluids that have been lost during activity. Athletes should monitor their body weight. If they are lighter by 1 kilogram, that would mean they've got a deficit of about 1 litre of fluid. The body will be still producing urine and possibly sweating, so therefore athletes need to drink a bit more than 1 litre. So we're talking here about maybe 1.5 to 2 litres for every kilo of body weight that they've lost to improve or replace this deficit. As we all know, athletes should avoid consuming alcohol following exercise, as this causes an increase in the level of urination, has a diuretic effect, which is going to make us dehydrated. And it also impacts on the effectiveness of injury management strategies due to its effect on blood vessel dilation, okay, and increased blood flow to damaged areas, so it's going to be more swelling and bruising. So alcohol is definitely no good for hydration. We're going to talk now about some of the neural strategies. Neural recovery strategies are those that help the central and peripheral nervous system recover from a high level of work. The central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord. We're going to break down neural strategies when we talk about hydrotherapy into hot water immersion and cold water therapy. So the hot water immersion is having a temperature of approximately 37 degrees Celsius. Is a strategy utilised by elite athletes in a bid to enhance their recovery. The hot water immersion results in increased blood flow and increased skin, muscle and core temperature. Most athletes use spa baths for hot water immersion and use the spa jets as a form of massage. It is more common to combine this strategy with cold water immersion, which is referred to as contrast water therapy. So the hot water on its own is not really ideal, but it's when it's a mixture of hot water and cold water that it seems to have more benefits for the recovery process. Contrast water therapy. So during contrast water therapy, participants alternate between heat exposure and cold exposure by immersion in warm and cold water, respectively. Some of the benefits from this include reduction in the swelling, alterations in tissue temperature and blood flow, changes in blood flow distribution, reduction of pain, and improvements in the range of motion. Again, what we're trying to do by getting ourselves in cold water, first of all, it's going to constrict the blood vessels. Less blood will be travelling there, so more blood's being sent back to the heart. When we get into the hot water, then it's going to increase the blood flow. So what happens is every time the blood's being sent back to the heart, it's getting rid of our lactic acid, and it's bringing down more fresh blood to begin our recovery process. Massage is another neural strategy that can be applied to athletes. In common with hydrotherapy, massage may bring both physical and psychological benefits to the individual. Some of the benefits include increased blood flow to the muscles, enabling faster removal of lactic acid, decreased level of muscle tension and soreness following exercise, increased joint flexibility, enhanced immune system functioning, decreased tension in the nervous system, so the nerves are more relaxed, and it also helps to relax the person and provide a greater sense of well-being, and in turn impacting on their sleep, making them sleep a little better because they're feeling relaxed. Here's a picture here just showing, of a masseuse going through and massaging an athlete following a game, just to help relax the muscles and realign the muscle fibres to get them more relaxed. The tissue damage strategies, example cryotherapy. Cryotherapy is the use of cooling as a means of treating injuries and may be used in different ways on both acute and chronic injuries. The physiological response to cryotherapy, which in other words is cold water immersion, includes decreases in heart rate and cardiac output, an increase in blood pressure, decreases in core and tissue temperature, and a reduction in inflammation, pain and muscle spasm. So cold water immersion is known as ice baths, and most athletes are doing this. It involves immersing the body in water approximately 10 to 15 degrees for about 5 minutes. It improves blood flow to the muscles. When the muscles are submerged in water, the blood vessels exposed to the cold will narrow, vasoconstriction occurs, less blood's getting there. This process forces blood away from the muscles, taking with it the byproducts of energy production such as lactic acid. After a period of time, blood will flow back into the area, bringing with it fresh supplies of energy and enzymes needed for muscle repair. And we spoke about this a little bit earlier. So that's our tissue damage strategy, cryotherapy. Just got two pictures here looking at, first one, you can see these two gentlemen are standing in ice baths. Okay, that's a bit of a cold water immersion, a bit of cryotherapy. So they're standing in there just to get the lower limbs underneath. So they could be runners, they could be on their feet training. That's why they're using the cold water or the ice water to help them recover. We've also got the City Swans over here doing a recovery session. Again, helps with recovery, removal of the lactic acid, bringing fresh blood down to the muscles that have been working. Compression garments or skins. We all know about these. A lot of players, a lot of the boys now will wear them. These garments assist in the recovery from exercise. They're widely used in medicine to treat problems with blood flow and attempt to improve the circulation. So it's trying to promote blood flow around the body, trying to get rid of, or it's actually getting the deoxygenated blood flowing back to the heart and getting some more fresh blood down. By improving circulation and promoting venous return in post-exercise period, there's an accelerated post-exercise inflammatory and repair response, aiding the recovery process. So there are our compression garments. Research has shown that there may be a reduction in the perceived impact of DOMS, so the delayed onset of muscle soreness following exercise when compression garments are worn. The benefits of compression may be due to an increase in blood flow and a decrease in inflammation and or decrease in pain. And we've spoke about the increase in blood flow, the fact it's bringing new, fresher blood down to the working muscles where the recovery is taking place. These are some examples of some skins, obviously the long pants, the calf ones as well, just to help with the blood flow circulate around the body. Some of the psychological strategies. Many different types of relaxation techniques can help an athlete lower their arousal levels after performance. When arousal levels are high, so are the two other body functions such as awareness, heart rate and blood pressure. So sometimes athletes will use flotation tanks which contain heavily salinated water so that the athlete floats and can be used for relaxation. This lowers blood pressure, improves temperaments and decreases the motor neuron response to everyday stresses. Athletes can use soothing music to help them get placed in a relaxed state, and also that we've spoke about it, but good sleep is required too for the psychological aspect. And an athlete that's sleeping well, of about 7 to 9 hours a night, is going to be more relaxed. Here's a flotation tank. This gentleman here just laying in, just relaxing, very peaceful, a nice way of allowing the body to relax. We've also got warm baths, which come under psychological strategies. Showers and meditation are all valid relaxation techniques for athletes to use. These techniques help the body rest to allow injuries or the body to heal and replenish food and energy stores. Meditation is also used as a focusing technique, and this can lead to better control of the nervous system and decrease heart rate and ventilation rates, our breathing, blood pressure, and relax our muscles. Progressive muscle relaxation allows the athlete the opportunity to apply tension and relaxation to certain muscle groups. The next 3 slides here, I'm going to go through and just explain to you in class, but all I want you to do is, as our syllabus says, for the recovery strategy, so the cool down in our book, the main features, and then some of the benefits of that form of recovery strategy. And there's 9 in total, which we've been through to have a look at. And that would be STEM 29.